Hello, 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 and happy Tuesday, everyone. It's your girl, RenaeThaDiva, host of Let's Talk About It, a weekly podcast that comes live every week, and we give you the deets in the streets, and we also go over things that are going on around our country, in our world, some sports, some entertainment, and all of the above. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's share. So we are to have a special guest tonight. I am waiting for him to come on, but we will go ahead and proceed and go for it, okay? So just remember that we are accepting new sponsors. If you are interested in sponsoring one of our podcasts, then you are more than welcome to send us an email at legacyent at gmail.com and we'll get the sponsorship package out to you. Okay. So we do have some sponsors for tonight's show. We have Legacy Entertainment Studios, of course, which is our parent company. And then we also have Legacy Collection, a variety of shoes. So hello to everyone that's watching me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok over here. So I have a whole different plethora of platforms set up. So hi to everyone that is joining. Please make sure you are liking, sharing, and following myself, RenaeThaDiva, RenaeThaDiva. Make sure that you are also following Legacy Entertainment Studios on the YouTube channel and all of the social media as well. Okay. So again, going to our sponsors, we do have Legacy Collection, and I'll post that here in just a moment. And we also have SEDM, Mr. Kenneth Brown, who sponsors our show as well and is very instrumental in being active with our show also. So let's get to some news, shall we? Let's share. Don't forget that October is Domestic Violence Month. It's never okay to be in a domestic violence situation, whether you're a male or a female, adult or a child. There is help available. So you also can dial from your cell phone or from a phone 211-411 in the local areas, or the national hotline number is 1-800-799-7233. Citizens are still recovering from hurricanes Helene and Milton in the southeast. So we definitely are keeping those persons in our prayers. There have been also still a number of losses. And then there are still some that are without power. So we are again praying for everyone there in the southeast, even some of those that are here in the Midwest that have been affected by the weather that was going on there. Currently, Russia's Putin is hosting world leaders for a 3-day BRICS summit. Several leaders have already arrived earlier today, and leaders such as China's Xi Jinping, India's Narendra, I'm pronouncing that totally wrong, I'm so sorry, Narendra Modi, along with several others. So I'm definitely sure that the war between Israel and Hamas will be a topic of discussion for the world leaders. So definitely, again, keeping those persons in prayer. So let's talk about one of my favorite topics, which is sports. In our sports segment, we will talk about the WNBA. New York Liberty has won the first WNBA championship, earning this year's title for 2024. So congratulations to the ladies, team members, staff, family, and friends of the New York Liberty as they won the WNBA championship for 2024. We are looking forward to hosting the 2025 championship here in Indy. So ladies, let's get to it. Come on, Fever. Let's go. Let's go. So the NBA starts its regular season tonight. Actually, the games will be coming on actually very soon here. Actually, it started here at 7:30, a couple of games. So the Knicks will be facing the Celtics tonight, and the Timberwolves will be facing the Lakers. So tomorrow, my Indiana Pacers will face the Detroit Pistons. So there'll be a host of games on, of course, tomorrow. For that. And then we have our NBA. So this coming Thursday, the Vikings go head to head with the Rams. for the Thursday night lineup. And then Sunday's lineup, we'll have about 14 games scheduled, including the Indianapolis Colts, who will be facing their division rivalry, the Houston Texans. So we look forward to seeing that game, and we are looking for a victory for the Colts. Okay. Hey, everybody on TikTok, Instagram, StreamYard, Facebook, all of the social medias. Hi to everyone. If you are just now joining, my name is RenaeThaDiva. I am host of Let's Talk About It, a weekly podcast that comes live, and we talk about things going on in our city, in our state, in our nation, and as well as some sports and some entertainment. So speaking of entertainment, let's get to that, shall we? Shall. The third annual BLK Wine Fest will take place February 15th, 2025. So tickets will be available starting on November the 5th on Eventbrite. So if you're a wine connoisseur, make sure you like and support that event. We are going to ask, are you attending any haunted houses this year? What are your fall activities? Make sure you're putting like, share, and follow in the comments, and tell us what you're going to be doing this season. Lots of things to do. You can do things like hay rides. Again, as I mentioned, there are several haunted house attractions. I know at least locally there are, but check your local listings for all attractions. So a big thing that's going on here in Indiana is what they are calling the DORA laws. DORA basically means that you are allowed to carry alcoholic beverages as you walk through a certain area. So that is taking place, and they are putting that into practice in several areas here in Indiana. I don't know if they're doing it in your states, but I'm kind of iffy about that. Just saying. Big Meat, aka Demetrius Flannery, has been released to a halfway house where he has been talking that he will be on the straight and narrow. He said he is tired of jail, basically. He's saying that he will go ahead and pursue his rap career as well as, his producing and movie careers. So we wish him the best of luck, and hopefully he does stay out of trouble as he's saying he wants to do. We are also hoping that their family dynamic comes back together. If you've seen their story, then you know what I'm talking about. Mr. Sean P. Diddy Combs is facing at least 5 more cases, and even more charges will be filed, according to the law firm that's representing the over 100 lawsuit participants in New York. And now there are going to be additional suits filed for Vegas and LA. So I do pray for him, no matter what the situation is. I have my own beliefs. I won't put my beliefs on you, but there definitely is coming a day of reckoning for all that he has done. So, again, just keep the victims in prayer, and then pray that justice prevails. So there you go on that. So my guest has not showed up yet. Let me check with him. And if not, we can get him rescheduled. Just a second. Okay, I got to come over here on this side because I am on that. Go here. So again, as I said, I have several devices up. I have my iPad, I have my cell phone, and then I am on my laptop. So we're going to get some fabulous software coming soon, and we will be moving in the studio. So I will be signing the lease and getting the keys on Friday. But look forward to having some holiday specials going too. So you get to know a little bit more about RenaeThaDiva, or Renee as a person, during the holidays. I will have guests on from all over, including some of my family members. So you'll get to meet some more of them. I did have my son on at one point. Hi, Kenneth. How are you? No worries. I appreciate you. Thank you. We are just checking on our special guest for this evening. If not, then I will actually see if you're available, and I'll bring you on just so we can talk with the people. Okay? Just a moment. I'm just checking to see if he sent me another message. Just a moment. Anyway, hopefully everyone's had a great day. You've had a great Tuesday. I have had a pretty productive day myself. I am again looking forward to going into a new space soon and coming out of my home office. Only because, I do plan to have guests actually come into the studio versus being just virtual. It works out being virtual if people are out of town. I definitely think that it increases the reach of being able to have people from all over come in that may not necessarily be in my city. I will also be traveling in 2025, so keep abreast of that as well. Some more details will come as we go into 2025, and you'll see. Let's talk about it on location. So we are excited about that as well. I am again still trying to sign in and check on our guests for this evening. If not, like I said, then I always have a backup because that's what we do. I will have one of my bros and business partners in a lot of instances come on, and you get to talk to him as well. Okay, so let me check. Hi, TikTok. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and following. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and follows. If you are not already subscribed, make sure you do go subscribe, please, to Legacy Entertainment Studios on YouTube. Make sure you are also subscribed and follow RenaeThaDiva, RenaeThaDiva, on YouTube and on TikTok while we still have it. So that's another thing too that I will talk about with you guys, that they are talking about a total ban of TikTok. What do you think about that? Would you go to another social media platform to be a content creator? Food for thought. I'm trying not to have any silence in the air, but I am old school in the fact that I need to be able to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. My grandma used to say that all the time. I miss my green. But please do consider subscribing, as Ken say. Make sure you also liking, sharing, following Southeast Dollars Matters. That is a group that Mr. Kenneth Brown has started. He also has now started a page for his clothing line. So KB Renaissance. So we'll definitely have him on here soon, and he'll be able to talk about that as well. Give me just 1 second. I got a login code. Maybe not. I'm just excited to be here with you guys. It was a crazy week last week. I don't know, it was a full moon kind of thing going on. So I am not able to reach my special guest schedule for tonight. So guess what? I'm going to bring Mr. Kenneth Brown on tonight. Hello, Kenneth. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I was just trying to share with the audience that we always have a little bit of a backup plan, meaning that if we can't get our guests on, we always have each other to kind of fall back on.
Yes. Excuse me if I sound under the weather. I have been dealing with a sinus infection that's been ravaging me for the last week. And so if I mute all of a sudden, I'm trying to not cough on the air. So please bear with me while I make this hot toddy. Is that okay?
Make one for me. I don't even need it, but I just want one.
I got you. Okay. So what's going on, Renee? What's happening?
So go ahead and tell us about Kenneth Brown's now KB Renaissance and what you're doing with it.
As we spoke with before, I'm looking to develop my clothing line. And I'm looking to compare myself to other famous designers that have been ahead of me. Like Giorgio Armani, DKNY, things of this nature. But I have my own style.
Mm-hmm.
As you very well know, I have my own style, whether it's sports clothing or whether it's a suit or whether it's, just some casual wear. And so I'm coming up with these different ideas and also including African wear. I'm also looking into that as well. But KBR really started about 8 to 10 years ago. And I actually developed KB Renaissance and KB Renaissance Clothers at the same time. And I actually did a live here on SEDM, because SEDM, we do a lot of live.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And that's when it was born. Well, it went dormant for a little while. And the reason it went dormant is because one God ordained it to go dormant for just a little while. So I could think about the process of hitting the marketplace up and running. And 2024 was the year to start putting out more content, etc. And it's with a lifestyle. And lifestyle is spelled LYFESTYLE, lifestyle, because you choose life. And fashion is spelled PH versus FAS. And the reason being is because I wanted the flair to be a little bit different. I wanted to be something that was very unique. And so eventually what's going to end up happening is, eventually calling it KBRC. And I've been doing a lot of marketing and promoting and things of this nature and putting in KB Renaissance as introducing that page as a way of life where you know a lot of information. And the information is not only about clothing, but about wealth management, about health is very important, and financial literacy. I try to make that particular portion of the page well-rounded. So KB Renaissance Clothers deals with the clothing line and modeling, and then KB Renaissance talks about the lifestyle, and these two pieces are joined together. So I'm very excited about launching it and see how far it goes.
Awesome. Definitely excited for you. As a former model myself. A lot of people don't even know that, but yes, I did model. And what a lot of people don't understand is if you are a size 14 or above, for a woman especially, you are considered plus size. So though I just meet the plus size requirement, I am considered plus size, which is, hey, it is what it is. I think we are some beautiful beings. That's curvy divas.
Curvy divas.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. And it's all about that. And pardon me for just a second.
No, yeah.
It's all about your lifestyle. See, that's you. That's uniquely you. And that is what KB Renaissance is about. Embracing you. That type of thing. And believe it or not, you're not going to believe this, but I used to be a really little fat kid. I don't know if you can show a picture of me now, one of my current pictures that I'm dressed up with, but I used to be real chubby. I used to be chubby back in the day. And I used to get picked at a lot. And this was before high school. And then I got into the 9th grade, 10th grade. I started sprouting. I started going to the gym. And by the time I was a junior, all the girls, oh my God, he's not so fat anymore, blah, blah, blah. So that was fun to me. So I was, I got in the Marine Corps and got to 199 pounds, and I was solid, So I was like, okay, yeah, this is great. This is great here. This is great. So I just kept going with the modeling, and I've always dressed up, even in high school. Penny loafers, Dockers, penny loafers with the actual penny in them.
Which is awesome.
I thought, yeah, I was in there. I was into that, man. I was into that. I would always go to the Izod store and I would buy, 20, 30 shirts. My dad said, God almighty, do you have to spend so much on your trust? Dad, I got to look good. I got to look great. And so, yeah, and that's how it got started. I really did. And I would watch the stars. And the thing is, there was a program on called Night Tracks, which was equivalent to MTV. Night Tracks started. And I would just watch the stars. So I'm always looking at that star that's always well-dressed, like Denzel Washington, Thomas McHale Ford, Tommy from Martin,
right,
Wesley Snipes, and even to The Untouchables, the movie, Robert De Niro. That whole line of suits was done by Armani. Everything they wore in that film was designed by Armani. Wow. And I put Armani on the map. Yeah, from the tuxedos all the way down. So if you haven't watched The Untouchables, watch it. But just look at, because it's very graphic, but look at the clothing they wore. And this was in the 1920s and 30s. And they dressed up, man. They dressed up. And what I like is the fact that you go back to some of the photos in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, especially the Cotton Club during that time frame in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
People dressed up when they went out, man. They dressed up in a tuxedo to go to a club, a dinner club.
Right.
You know what I mean? That means they took the time to get dressed.
Right.
And so the day before, I'm always looking, what combination will I wear today? You know, it'll be enhanced by what I'm going to be wearing. So that's where you see some pre-planning goes into that. But I started to lay out these sketches, the coats, the pants, the shirt types, the different ties, etc. And then, begin drawing it or have someone who actually can sketch it for me. And we pitch it. I'll go to New York and pitch it, and see how well it bites. And the first place I would stop be DKNY, And I'm so excited about that thought. I don't know what to do. I'm so excited. I'm always taking selfies.
Right.
I'm always I've taken so many selfies that I haven't shown all of them yet on different outfits that I wear, that type of thing. Especially during the winter, because I love winter clothing. I love the cold weather. Fall, winter, early spring, I'm full trench, leather trench, all the way to the floor. I've got several trench coats that belong to my grandfather and my father, and they were full length, with 3/4 length, pea coats, stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm into that. But anyway, you're going to see some of that stuff come out, and I'm going to tag you so you can see some of the designs coming out that I thought of, and this is what I would like to have, that type of thing. So look out for that. Well, what about me? What's going on with you?
I am very excited about that because, of course, we talk all the time. I just love your style far as how you dress. And I think it is a lost art, especially with our young people. I was I was at my part-time gig, and I'm not going to tell you where it is.
Okay.
But I was at my part-time gig, and of course, in this facility, people come in from all different shapes, sizes, walks of life, colors, creeds, you name it, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Social statuses and what have you. And it just irritates the mess out of me for a young man to walk in and his pants are down his butt, and for a young woman to walk in and she has on a bonnet and house shoes and she's dragging her feet across the floor. It just drives me crazy. And it may just be me. I'll say that. But even, I think I'm very similar in a way that even coming up, my casual wasn't considered necessarily what everybody else would consider casual. In my freshman year of high school, I got into heels because I was raised very much a tomboy.
Okay.
My inner tomboy still comes out, because I like to, be involved in race cars and automobiles and motorcycles.
Did you climb trees?
I did.
See?
See?
Yeah.
I think I'm better off for it. These kids these days don't even want to go outside and, be in the sprinkler. But I definitely can appreciate, again, the fundamentals of what you're trying to do with KB Renaissance.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And I can see your dress sense in the way you wear your hair, certain frames, if you wear your glasses.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with being a curvy girl. Nothing at all. I found that our plus size women dress very well. They take the time to dress up no matter where they are. The makeup is flawless. I have seen makeup that's fierce. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with the skinny model. There's nothing wrong with the Victoria's Secret model.
Right.
But the brutality of it all, how they got that and keep that thinness, it's really, really incredible. I've seen documentaries where women would talk about what they had to go through in order to maintain that Victoria's Secret look, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing to play with. Modeling is nothing to play with. You really have to have the Imani, thinking, that type of thing. So yeah,
it definitely takes a level of dedication. There is a lot of behind the scenes that people don't see on the daily when it is involving modeling. I actually did a special on, well, kind of like a testimony, I guess you can say, but I did a special on modeling when I first opened my modeling agency. And talked about how, people can be unfortunately judgmental, and that, a lot of these young ladies and young men, because of trying to meet the industry standard and trying to be at or under the weight requirement for some of these assignments or modeling gigs, will do some pretty horrible things to their bodies. They become anorexic.
Right.
They do binge eating. They do a lot of making themselves vomit. I was trying to think of the politically correct way to say it. But they do a lot of purging. That's it, purging.
Yes, purging. Right.
So they, some of these young men and women subject themselves to some pretty harsh things. I remember being on a gig, on an assignment. And there was a young lady, beautiful young lady. I mean, just gorgeous inside and out. Happened to be a little bit on more of a brown complexion for our people, and had a head full of gorgeous hair. She did choose to wear her natural hair. A lot of times, some of these assignments will call for us not to wear our natural hair, which is a whole nother issue. But anyway, this young lady had been told by her agency that she was 5 pounds overweight and she needed to fix it. And I bust into tears because it was just so disheartening to hear that. And I'm like, you are gorgeous. Your shape is perfect. She may have been 110 pounds wet. And they were telling her she needed to lose 5 pounds. And I'm like, and I just encouraged her. I said, please understand, from a vet in the game or old head or whatever you want to call me, you can't sacrifice your health.
Right. Exactly.
I've seen women that were size 0 that have had heart attacks. So, you just really have to be careful.
Yeah, you do. You have to be very careful. And see, if you notice that on KB Renaissance and KB Renaissance Clothing, I promote a magazine called Light Brights. That's because you have models all over the country. He's a top-notch videographer and, of course, a photographer. And models are all over the country, and not one of them has been super thin. They're curvy, but they're not super thin. And you can see a few BBLs in there, here and there.
Right.
But the idea is for the woman to be in her natural state. And to me, if it's going to be where it's going to be modeled, it has to be sexy, not dirty. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a little bit of demure there, because sex sells, unfortunately. Sex sells.
It does.
And so in order for them to sell a product or service, these women can somewhat seem to be, in the elder's eye, scantily dressed, but they're not. Those are the trends of the day.
Right.
And when he first got into this business, he was doing automobiles and homes. And then he ended up expanding. He would do the modern day MTV crib. Then he started expanding into models, females only. And the brand took off. It took off. So I can see the artistry in what he's trying to do. So the question was asked of me one day, was, how come you put pictures of beautiful women in videos and things of this nature? And beauty is from within. So Renee, beauty's within. And you did not know this, but I'm actually going to start doing curvy girls as well.
Well, how about that?
Because love, love, love. You know what I mean? And you just gotta get started. And there's so much in my head about what I want to do with that particular page. But go to the curvy model. Even if you do a GIF, they're skinny.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to go to the curvy model. I don't want anybody to feel excluded because of their beauty and because they happen to be a plus size woman. Some of the greatest beauty that I have discovered in women have been women who've been plus size. Why? Right. It's because they're not inhibited. They're not inhibited by the way they feel about themselves. They go unapologetic. And I love that. Be unapologetic about who you are. So ladies, if you are listening and you are having a confidence issue, there shouldn't be. Be confident in who you are. Love up on yourself.
For sure.
If you're a plus size. If you're a plus size, love up on yourself, girlfriend. Don't limit yourself because you're plus size. Work it. Work what you have. If you go to the gym and you are healthy, if your heart is healthy, your mind is going to be healthy as well. So don't give up because someone says you're too big. Because someone on the opposite side say you're too skinny.
And I've had that happen too. I've had people tell me that I needed to gain more weight back for an assignment. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. Sorry.
Right. Exactly. You don't sell yourself short because of the actions of another individual.
That's right.
Let me say that again.
That's a word right there. That's a word.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
Right. Sell yourself short for the actions of a little bit. And the mantra on KB Renaissance Gold is the difference between living and living well. Living and living well. You know what I mean? Because people just go through their life. I had a guy tell me years ago, buy the finest ride, eat the finest food, stay in the finest places, and wear the finest clothes that your money can buy. That stuck with me. I'm like, wow, okay, that makes sense. You can take a suit, take it to be tailored, look like $1 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be a $300 suit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And just, wait, John, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying for sure. It does not. My male best friend, I always get on him because he's one of those people. He can actually go into like a thrift store, like a Value Village or a Goodwill, and come out with a $30 designer suit, which would normally cost like $300 to $500, if not more, if he had gone to the actual original retailer for it. I'm like, I so hate you because I can't do that. But there are definitely ways, and then we have to remember the mindset that we make the clothes don't make us.
That's right. On my cover photo on my personal page, that was a consignment suit.
There you go.
I bought that suit 2 years ago and had it tailored to me. I've got a closet full of suits that I bought either from consignment or went to Macy's. And I got to admit it, I was a Sean John fan. I have to admit that. I mean, he wore some dynamic clothes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was African American, so there was the inspiration, if you will, like Barack Obama was to me. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing I'm zeroing on is African American men. Like you said, the sagging pants. Okay, that's cool if you are going out and it's like a club or it's a bar or something like that where you're not going out in public with that too tough or that type of thing.
Right.
But to wear that in public, I mean, I got jeans that sag. And I wear them, but I go to the movie theater or something like that. It's nothing, and I don't wear it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so you've got to have different sides of you. And so last night I took a photo. I was listening to Tupac. Because Tupac is my all-time favorite. Did you see that video?
I did. That's why I started laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the first 36 bars, man. I mean, he pretty much told it. I'm up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but a gangster party. America's Most Wanted. You know what? Because it's an attitude. And I put a post out there that you dress like Sinatra, but you listen to Tupac.
Right.
And that's where that came from. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I do on that page is always relative to the next section that people will see about me. That type of thing. So there's more to come.
I will ask you if you would, once we are off here, make sure you post your information in this chat on the video.
I will.
That because I know you are, tailoring everything through. If you are just joining us, this is Let's Talk About It. This is a weekly podcast with your host, myself, RenaeThaDiva. I do have special guests each week. Tonight, I do have with me Mr. Kenneth Brown of KB Renaissance. He's discussing, and we are discussing, kind of like the fashion industry, even being on the plus side of things for myself and him also being a model and things we've kind of encountered. And the modeling industry, especially for those being African American. There are, of course, KB, you can kind of talk about this as well. There are plenty of young men and young women that aspire to be in the modeling world, but they are met with such harsh demands. What do you recommend to someone that is looking to get into modeling?
First, stay the course. Get a modeling agency that will work with you to fine-tune who you are. And everything that we do is always based on attitude. 10% of what you do is action, but 90% is attitude. Have the attitude of confidence. But see, confidence and self-awareness can't sit in the same room. Normally people who are self-aware, they're arrogant. Mm-hmm. But if you're confident, it'll show. Now, how do you see the difference between the two? Remain humble. Stay the course. Don't give up. And so how do you not give up, maybe, when people are telling me, I can't do this, I can't do that? Well, who are they? You know what I mean? Modeling agencies is not out there. That's why a lot of artists, singers, go independent.
Right.
You know, don't limit yourself with what you see with an agency, because they're going to kind of design you to fit their profile. There's nothing wrong with that. But find your profile. Everybody, there's millions of people on Facebook. Every profile picture is different. I don't think everybody's the same. Exactly. That's my point. Right. Because Renee may be where she is, I will be, we're on the same page. We just dress the part. Mm-hmm. Dress the part. You know, if you want urban, you want an urban look, do the urban look. If you like me, who follows a guy like Denzel Washington and watch how he dressed, then go Denzel Washington.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's take it back to Malcolm X. When he came off the street, he got with certain guys that showed him how to dress. Or Frank White. Guys who were gangsters. You know what I mean? Al Capone. They were gangsters. Lucky Luciano, etc. They were gangsters, but yet they knew dress sense.
Right.
Because they took the time. You know what I'm saying? So I have a professional thug attitude about me. I have a professional thug attitude. You know what I'm saying? Because privately, I listen to a lot of rap music. I love rap music. Right. To be honest with you, I just love rap music. But I love jazz. I love house music. You bounce how you feel. So anyone that's out there aspiring, listen to this, and listen to this very, very carefully. Don't delineate by who you are. Don't get into situations that'll cause your health to fail, because you will die if you're not taking care of yourself. Do this: walk, go to the gym, drink plenty of water.
For sure.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people who don't know may not know me. I'm on this feed. I'm 60 years old, man. I want to be 100. I asked God when I turned 50 to give me 50 more years in my right mind. That's deep for me.
That is.
And to go forward with that, that's why I don't look my age. Because there's an attitude with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's confidence. That's all. Just confidence. So stay confident and don't give up. Please don't give up if that's your dream.
So if you are just joining us, this is Let's Talk About It. We are a weekly podcast. We are being sponsored tonight by Legacy Collection, a shoe collection. We are also being sponsored by Southeast Dollars Matters, and also KB Renaissance. And we are talking with founder of KB Renaissance, Mr. Kenneth Brown, and also of Southeast Dollars Matters. If you follow those pages on social media, you'll see he posts a variety of things, including models. He'll post events. He also has been guest host on a number of different talent segments. He has also become a Google influencer by sharing his reviews. So again, make sure you're liking, sharing, following Southeast Dollars Matters, KB Renaissance. Mm-hmm. They are on all social media, including TikTok. Hi, TikTok people. Mm-hmm. Hey, family.
Hey, TikTok people. Hey, family. I just got all over the place, and not really all over the place. It's channeled for a reason. Southeast Dollars Matter is designed to promote businesses. Right. It doesn't matter whether or not you're African American. It's designed to promote business, an idea. Okay. Right. You have an idea for a business, because I'm a small business owner. That's why I do it. That page has been in business now for 6 years, going on 7 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's all I do is share business acumen. I also share comedy. You know, I give people something to laugh. Now I've got 2 channels. We can music channels. I have Southeast Dollars Matter channel and SCDM music channel. One on Facebook, one on YouTube.
There you go.
And it's a movement. It's music. You know, house music. I'm even from Jersey, so you know we always got down with the music.
Yes.
And we just love music. Because you sit there on the dance floor and just dance for hours on house music. Love it, love it, love it. So it's all about a lifestyle. And I'm very energetic. I love the energy that I put off to people. Mm-hmm. You give the energy that people will receive, and they'll give you the same energy back. You come at me negatively, I'm going to turn around and come at you positively. I'm not going to meet the same energy.
Right.
Because there's no reason to get upset by what somebody says. Why?
As I tell people, I'm not going to let you live free in my head. I'm just not going to do it.
Exactly. And sometimes that beats a lot of people down.
Right.
You don't never meet people at their same energy level. If they're negative, just walk away from them. You have that choice. I don't argue with people. People are subject to having their own opinion. But if you give me good advice, like good trouble, like my frat brother John Lewis, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, if you give me good advice, I will listen to you. But if it's something just for your benefit, I'm going to take it with salt. Over the shoulder, and went through ear and out the other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, not trying to be arrogant. I think I'm probably the most humble people I know. My mother says that a lot. She says, you're a humble brother. You know what I mean? And I am. It's not about hurting anybody. It's about having my own lifestyle. Because between the sunrise and the sunset, that dash that's there, you want to feel that. Hear what I'm saying about this. You want to feel that so tough that the mortician is sad to see you go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for anyone that's listening, tune in to Legacy Entertainment Studios. You know, I promote that a lot on Southeast Dollars Matter because I believe in her product and service. And I push it really, really hard. And here's a surprise for you. I started pushing it to London. I started pushing it to Australia. I have contacts there.
Awesome.
For them to zero in on you, girlfriend, and listen to your podcast.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm with 100 Black Men of London in a mentoring program. And I push it. I just push it. You know? But, everything that you do is internet-based.
Yes.
So why not? You know what I'm saying? And So, there's no need for you to just stay dormant. We do things. And now you're getting ready to move into your new studios and have guests. And I'm going to fly to Indianapolis and I'm going to be in the studio with you in 2025.
Yes.
I want to be in the studio. And people will be able to see, the man behind this mask and my clothing and things of this nature. And we just start doing a little impromptu modeling session inside the studio.
There you go. I definitely would love to have a teaching session on even how to walk the catwalk or, proper tools to even pack when you're going to an assignment. Those kind of things I used to do with my crew when I had my modeling agency. I just retired it just because here in Indiana, it became an oversaturated market. But that's okay. I am very much one that I will encourage anyone that's trying to do anything, even if I've done it myself. I'm going to still try to encourage one. And then it was just more of a time constraint for me. At the time I was married, and it was just harder for me to actually be able to focus on it like I wanted to focus on it. But I still will take on and mentor young ladies and young men sometimes that are in the industry or looking to get into the industry of modeling. And then I have a couple of young ladies that have approached me regarding such and how to even dress appropriately or, proper undergarments being a plus size or a curvy woman. A lot of people don't understand this about me, and I'll share this with you guys. I have actually had 4 to 5 major surgeries all in my abdomen area. So I will never have a flat stomach, and I'm okay with that. But it took me a while to get to that process. A lot of people have the misconception that they see someone that is considered plus size that, they just can't back away from the table. And that's definitely not the case in all cases. There can definitely be some underlying health issues that are affecting the person's metabolism. So my focus has just been really trying to make sure that, for one, people are less judgmental, but for two, that people are healthy. I would rather you be a plus size healthy person again than an unhealthy size 0. And I love my size 0 women, because I have some of them that are just some of my dolls, as I call them, that are size 0, 1, 2, 12, 15, 22, 25, 30. They're all just, again, I will give love to whoever is in the need or in my space that has definitely the positivity vibe.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Well, we will go ahead and end this show.
Wait, before you go, wait a minute.
Go ahead. Come on back. We have time. Okay.
Don't leave just yet. Listen, I need to ask you something.
Okay.
I need to ask you something. Now, you talk about that mentoring process
Mhm.
for our young ladies.
Mhm.
What advice are you giving our young people, females, about lifestyle and attitude? What are you saying to them?
That's a lot. Honestly, what I have observed about a lot of our young ladies is that their self-esteem is at an all-time low. Maybe it was they were brought up in a situation where their parents or parental figure was not nurturing, was more demeaning than encouraging, was more cussing them out every 5 words. So that's their mentality that that they are a B or being a bad B, or um, that they basically have to take anything from the relationship they choose to be in, whether it's male or female. That's kind of what I've been encountering. So when I'm mentoring these young ladies, my focus is trying to find out their strengths, trying to find out what they consider their weaknesses, so we can kind of counteract those things. I've been taught and learned in real life experiences, for every negative, there should be a positive. You can't just browbeat someone. They very well may have some things that they may be lacking in certain areas but that's not a punishment. We shouldn't punish them for those things that they may fail in. We should actually try to encourage them to reach for whatever their goals are. We should give them goals. They should create their own goals. I think in today's society, being the smart kid or being the kid that gets their homework done is not as popular as being the kid that can rap a full 12 verses of today's favorite song. I experienced that kind of like even going through with my grandson who's 10, and just kind of talking with him about peer pressure, and not telling my age, but I'm seasoned. but even in my school years, I can remember, that there was peer pressure, but I thank God that I surrounded myself with people that we're still friends to this day, that didn't believe in the peer pressure. If I say I didn't want to do something, they didn't ask me or didn't try to force me to do it, and vice versa. So again, those are the friends I still have to these days. And we may not talk every day, but those were the lasting impressions, and those are the kind of people I try to encourage these young ladies and young men to surround themselves with. Get you, a good spiritual advisor, because unfortunately, in today's times, we need the Lord more than we've ever needed Him. I'm just going to go ahead and just say it that way. There's just so much going on in the world, I don't want to go totally spiritual, but even the Bible speaks of it, but saying, that, in the last days that the world will pretty much have a reprobate mind. Things that were not considered okay 20 years ago, today it's looked as like, okay, well, this is happening. Okay. The kids are losing their innocence a lot sooner.
Well, I'm a minister of the gospel, and I recently re-entered seminary school, and I'm going to be getting a doctorate in theology. But I was told that there is a PhD that I will require in saving souls. And there's no such academic for saving souls. Okay. And I have to walk a very thin, obedient, conforming standard to Jesus Christ. Now, it's funny that you mentioned about religion. And I would say that's my thing. God is training me to be his disciple. And what that comes with is a lot of territory, but that comes with a lot of hurt. I'll be ostracized. That's just the name of the game. But you have to have a tough skin to be a minister or a prophet. You gotta have a tough skin. But when you teach from the book of Genesis to Revelation, you got to teach it right.
Right.
And I like reading the King James Version because that's the original Hebrew text. And believe it or not, God's name is Inishiwa. That's Jesus' name. That's what his mother called him. Ishiwa. Yahweh. etc. So you have to go back to the very beginning to understand who and what our Lord and Savior is about. Now, a lot of people, and I say this, a lot of people think that religion is dying. No, it's not. God is watching.
Right.
We tend to forget that. He's watching, but he's very patient. You ask the Israelites, they stayed in bondage for 400 years. You know what I mean? They wanted freedom. They got the freedom and they turned on him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we have to be very mindful about what we say to other people. And those that are listening, because I am a spiritual advisor, people that tell me things in confidence, it stays with me. Why? Because that's confession. I might roll up on a situation that Christians last right. I have to know Psalm 23. Right. The Lord is my shepherd. There's certain requirements that I need to meet academically. But the one thing that we were talking about just recently was being quiet. Anyone who is of a religious connotation and they talk a lot, they're not listening. They're not listening. You have to listen to people. And so I zero in on that, and I meet people where they are, because people have met me where I was. And I say was, because 10 years ago, I was not the person I am now.
Right.
No way, shape, or form.
Right.
So I say spiritual, go spiritual, because it's the crux of who we are. The church should be the church. The church should be a beacon in a dark world. It should be the moral compass when people have misdirection. And lastly, it must be a place where people can go to heal. We have to heal as a people. And I'm going to say this to the gentleman out there. If you have a lady friend, take time to heal her and be real to her. Just have a conversation. Why men call a woman a B or an H is beyond me. That's beyond me. That's not the name that she was Christianly given.
Right.
Call her by her name. You know what I mean? So I digress a little bit with that, and we're going to talk about that later. But I say all of that to say this: just simply do the right thing and treat somebody with respect. That's all. That's all it takes.
For sure. So
it takes. You know what I mean? And Diva, it was a pleasure.
Of course, always. And I definitely appreciate you, Kenneth, for coming on. Shout out to my brother also, Mr. Kamori, VGPS. He was a guest a few weeks ago now. And all that he's doing. Make sure you are also downloading VUGPS in the App Store. It is VUGPS all together. Make sure you do that. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, please, to Legacy Entertainment Studios and also RenaeThaDiva on all social media, especially the YouTube channels. We're trying to get those up and going. And we will plan to see you next week with a new special guest. Okay.
Yes, I look forward to it. You got to take care out there. Y'all be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Kenneth, of course.
Okay.
And I will say goodbye for now to all of you. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you.